Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the 43rd episode of Sports of a Legend TV. I'm your host, William Ramo, and on today's episode, I'm gonna give you my reaction as a diehard Met fan of what I think about this Lindor trade to the Mets. So, if you like this video, please feel free to comment on it, share it, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this video. Click the notification bell so you can be notified for future episodes. So yeah, with that said, let's go on to my honest thoughts about this trade. Um, Obviously, you know um, the Mets acquired the four-time All-Star shortstop Francisco Lindor from the Indians, along with hurler Carlos Carrasco. So my thoughts is even though I was definitely a fan of Rosario and his potential, and especially Jimenez, who I really think he could be a good player eventually, but the Mets are in a win now situation. You have an opportunity to get one of the best players in the game. You know, you got to go after it. So, I'm all in favor for this move. I think it's a brilliant move by Steve Cohen, you know, um, Jared Porter, Sandy Alderson. It just shows that they're ready to win now. So, I love the move. And they didn't give up their top pitching prospects like Allen and Mercurio, Alvarez. So I think it was a great move. Arguably one of the best moves of franchise history. Has that potential. Has that potential to, to be like the Don Clendenon trade in '69, or the Keith Hernandez trade in '83, and Gary Carter's trade in '84, and then of course the Piazza trade, in '98, and then even more recently, the Yoenis Cespedes trade from 6 years ago. So if the Mets have a you know an amazing run at the playoffs this year, this trade um could be the linchpin for that to happen. So time will tell. If how Lindor adjusts to playing in New York, but I mean, in all indications, I mean this was a brilliant move. You have a very young superstar player in his prime, 27 years old. Former All-Star, played in the World Series a few years ago. In a losing effort against the Cubs. Yeah, what's there not to like about this trade? So we'll see. Time will tell. How he adjusts to New York. But the most important thing about this trade is that Mets have to sign him to a contract extension ASAP. Because this move is pretty similar to the Mookie Betts trade from last year, and we all know how that happened with the Dodgers winning their first World Series since 1988. And yeah, I guess in a side note, the legendary Dodger manager Tommy Lasorda, he passed away earlier today. So my condolences go out to his family and everybody who's directly affected by his loss. So this past season was the first time the Dodgers won the title, and the Mets are hoping that Francisco Lindor could be one of the final pieces of the puzzle. And along with that trade, they got Carlos Carrasco, a guy who's battle tested in the playoffs, a guy who's a good character guy like Lindor, you know, um, doing pranks and all that stuff. So, and most importantly, he's a good pitcher and a good dude. So, the move is this trade on paper looks like it could be one of the best trades in Mets history. So, but the most important thing is, will this trade lead to them winning a championship in the near future? And so far they're in the right direction, but they can't be complacent. I mean, the offense is good, but the final piece of the puzzle has to be Springer. They have to get that guy. He solves all their problems. They'll improve the center field spot, which they haven't had a true bona fide superstar center fielder since Carlos Beltran, back in the days. So they definitely need to sign Springer. Like Lindor, he's battle tested in the postseason. Springer has a championship with the Astros. What, 3 years ago, 2017. So, well, actually, it's 2021, so that would be 4 years ago. But he's battle tested. He has, I think he has like 15 home runs in the postseason. So you need a leader, a guy who's been in the playoffs, who's won a title, preferably, to help you get to that level. So Springer, I mean, he's the perfect guy, like Lindor, to be putting on the Mets uniform. So hopefully Mets can finalize this move and bring the Connecticut native, local the local kid back home. So we'll see what happens with that. So all in all, great trade. You know, getting Lindor and getting Carrasco, two good guys. Obviously, you know, um, Rosario and Jimenez, they have potential, and hopefully they'll do well in Cleveland. And then other pieces they gave up, Josh Wolf. He's a guy, a pitcher in the minor leagues. He throws hard. I mean, he has potential. And then you have Isaiah Green, who's a center fielder. Um, I mean, by all indications, he should be a solid player, good defensively, good hitter. But in sports, you gotta give something to get something. But by all indications, for a guy of Lindor's caliber, this move right now looks like it's a steal. But we have to see what happens in the future, because everybody was thinking, Lindor would probably get traded to the Red Sox or the Dodgers or the Yankees. A big market team that's always trying to make some noise. So the Mets, they pulled it off. This is definitely a sign that they're a win now team, and they definitely gotta go after Springer and improve that bullpen. Get Brad Hand from Cleveland. I mean, obviously he's a free agent right now. After Cleveland, put him on waivers, so they won't have to pay, his salary. And then you have Liam Hendricks, the closer from the A's, who's also a free agent. So one of those two guys. I mean, if it was up to me, I'm at Steve Cohen, so I can't spend his money. I would go after both of them and have a super bullpen. But then again, that the luxury tax is gonna, who knows what the Mets are like, what, $30 million away from the luxury tax threshold. So I don't think Steve Cohen's gonna want to go too far over it, in his first year as the Mets owner. But we'll see. Again, love the move. I mean, obviously, you get attached to players like Rosario and Jimenez. I mean, those guys have potential, but we'll see what they're gonna do in the future. So if you like this video, please feel free to like, share it, comment on it, and let me know what you think if you like the trade or you don't like the trade. So